What's up guys, Cut Protagonist here. Today I'll be doing a deck profile on the championship deck list for Team League. This time will be the Nociel Injure Feather deck. Nociel is actually one of the best Injure Feathers right now as shown in the Japanese band list. So today I have my friend Vishal and David. David was the one piloting the deck, which belonged to Vishal last minute. So imagine you're going to nationals, last minute I need a deck, guys, give me a deck. So we land Vishal's deck, and Vishal's aura in this deck is amazing. And today he also used this deck and he went first in TT Zone Hougang tournament. So that is amazing feat. And he used, for this tournament, he didn't even use the 4 copies, he only used 1 copy of this because we are using Japanese format, but we can use English cards. Yeah. So this time we'll be doing a deck profile with the one that we use for the English format, which is 4 copies of the Doctorate Retro.
Extremely balanced.
Extremely balanced, guys. Please write the Bush Road to unban it so that the game will be better. Alright, so let's get David to do that profile. And this playback belongs to David, it's beautiful. No, David.
Yeah, sure. So for the grade 3s, we start off with 4 copies of Love Sniper Nociel. Okay, what's the both her effects actually trigger only at the Vanguard circle, but both of them are actually very game changing, because the first one is that on right you can actually swap 1 card with hand with damage with your damage zone. So normally this is actually a +0 because you technically lose 1 card from hand to get back 1 card from damage zone. But what's strong is that it's second skill, which is not once per turn, and it's not GB lock, which allows you to counter blast 1 whenever a Nociel card is placed in the damage zone. So this also triggers during your opponent's turn. So even during your opponent's turn, you can actually get back cards. So in a way that and you can actually chain the effect, because it does not for its second effect, for its first effect, which is when a Nociel card is placed in there, so you can counter blast 1 and add it to your hand. If the Nociel card is still face up, then send the card from top card of your deck to damage zone face up. The good thing about it is that it actually can trigger off its effect again, and you can keep doing it until you run out of counter blast.
Yes. So basically what happened to me today is I was using Gear Chronicle and Vishal was running this and he took 1 damage. Oh, okay, cool. Then he counter blast 1. Then he add it back to hand. I think
add the other.
No, it's like
how does it work?
Okay, it was like, okay, wait, let me see. It's like this. Okay, so he damaged, right? Then he add it back to hand. After that, right, it come out again. Then counter blast and add it back to hand again.
Yeah, he did that.
After that, you go to damage zone and counter blast. As long as it's face up, you can go back to hand. So it actually get like +3 extra cards from being hit.
You plus for plussing. You plus to play the game. How's that, guys? You plus to play the game.
You reward yourself with another plus.
Yeah, this is why Nociel is amazing. Oh yeah, there's one question I want to ask you. Why didn't you strike in most of the turns when you're playing Nociel?
Okay, because it is actually it's not. For Doctorate Refrost, when you send when you counter blast 1 to send 2 cards back to deck, you not only refresh your damage zone, you also actually, if any of the 2 cards is a Nociel card, you actually get to add it back to your hand. So if you have like 1 or 2 copies of Refrost, it's actually much better to be on the grade 3 and not strike, because you actually add to hand, plus it actually conjunction with your Nurse of Broken Heart to actually give your Vanguard close to strike power anyway. So it doesn't. So it's actually more for the effect if you actually want to multi-attack.
So what are the average number of cards you add to your hand during the turn you use?
It's in grade 3.
Every time you don't strike, how many cards you add to your hand outside the drive checks?
Outside the drive checks, I can usually if for every Refrost in my hand, I can usually add about 1 to 3 cards to my hand. Technically speaking. So it's plus. Not only that, you also have other things you can actually use this Nociel stand trigger to actually extend the combo. If let's say your Doctorate Refrost didn't get drawn back to hand, but you put it in damage zone, you can actually use this soul charge and then add it back to your hand, add power to your rearguard and Vanguard, and then you can do it again. So you can keep refreshing until.
I remember he did it like more than 10 times against the guy. Then the guy just died. If it's me, I'll just die inside. I mean, my heart will just die inside.
Remember guys, Refrost is not broken. Please unban.
Yes, please unban Bush. We love you.
Yeah.
Allow us to take copies.
So
now make it a crit.
Okay, alright. Wait So that and for grade 3 that's all we play, because that's all that's needed.
Oh my god, really?
Okay. Yeah, really. Okay, so anyway.
That's grade 3s.
Okay, for grade 2s we have 4 copies of Nurse of Broken Heart.
Because
she's
so balanced.
She's balanced, okay? Because
she's a common card, so she must be balanced.
Yes, common cards. So you want to play budget deck? This is a budget deck.
Coincidentally, this is also a common.
Yep.
So commons plus commons equals to balanced combos. Okay. Okay, her effect is that as a GB1,
Yep.
whenever a card is placed in the damage zone, you can give your Vanguard plus 2000 and itself plus 2000. So it actually, so the thing about it is that normally you can during your opponent's turn, whenever you have Love Sniper Nociel and you put a card in damage zone, for each one is plus 2000. So in minimum it will plus 4000. And if your opponent is lucky enough to get a damage check a Nociel, then you can add it to your hand, then you do again, so your Vanguard will be minimum 19k.
Oh, that's how I
And-
saw like you get so much attack
And,
power.
and lot help your opponent if you damage check this. Then it becomes a 24k Vanguard.
Oh my god.
Because you plus 4k
Yeah.
like that, because you put one damage zone. So plus 2 plus 4, so 15k. Then trigger effect, of course you give to Vanguard lah, you won't give to Vanguard. So it's plus 5. So 20k. Then you add this to your hand, then you damage, not really damage check, you add the top card of the deck to the damage zone again, which triggers both effect again. So it becomes plus another 2k, 2k, 4k. So it becomes 24,000.
So in other words, please bring a dice in base deck.
Alright, okay. So and
Yeah. We don't allow them to use
each
the
time,
advantage.
and each time
That's how they balance.
each time with Refrost, whenever you use it, it gives actually you actually send 2 cards, so it's 4 times. So that's why normally sometimes I don't even strike, because if you have 2 copies, when you do it, it's already when you use 1 Refrost, it's minimum already 19k. So and if you ever put 1 Nociel there, it becomes a 23k Vanguard, so you don't really need to strike.
Yeah, it's true.
Everything revolves around this. Just know these guys.
Actually,
Okay?
not really. Today he used a deck, you didn't roll. You just roll.
Yeah, but that's because you only had 1 to use. If you have 4 to use, I'm sure that other good stuff will happen.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, okay. Now we have 4 copies of Love Machine Gun
Oh,
Nociel.
back then this card was so bad.
Yeah, because it was 8,000 and it didn't allow your. It didn't allow your. You could not attack with it unboosted, because technically you couldn't hit anything with 8,000. Okay, but now this has changed because it's actually one of your enablers with your Love Sniper, your Grade 3 Nociel, which allows you to actually send a Nociel. Normally you will put a Nociel card in damage zone and take back any other thing, which will trigger its effect to actually plus it back to your hand. So technically its effect is a plus 0, become plus 1. So by just calling it,
Yeah, quite you can get one free.
yeah, you can get one free card. So technically you counter blast 1, but you will unflip 1 because you add a face down card back to your hand.
So
Normally.
basically, let's just change attack to draw 1.
Yeah,
Plus
basically if you have draw 1 if you have a Love Sniper. And it's not even draw 1, it's draw 1 from the damage zone.
You can tutor 1 from
Yes, and secondly is that she herself also has interactions with Nurse of Broken Heart, which allows you to plus 2000 because it's another way to actually trigger its plus 2k skill.
I see.
Okay, so that's for the Love Machine Gun.
Ooh, what's that you have there?
What's this? This is
this?
your Lord, your God, the Savior Rock.
You know,
okay.
You know this at the finals,
Because
it was
you
so
smell
funny.
the salt.
Yeah. So how do you use this guy in Angel Feathers?
Alright, okay. I'll actually would have a more detailed explanation later when I get to the strike zone. But for now, what is it is that normally you actually use the effect,
Yep.
unlock one of your regards. Then after you finish with it, right, you actually will put it back in the damage zone. So Link Joker is unable to touch it.
Oh, this is nice.
And you usually in your entire hand you will have some way to take it back into your hand, and then you can call it again, unlock the thing, then you attack with your example Love Sniper Holy Seraph Nociel. Then after that you put it back in the damage zone, and then you call out a fresh attacker to attack your opponent again. And then because into the damage zone your opponent can't touch it because it's a Link Joker.
So in a way, so Grand Blue and Angel Feather.
the finals.
Yeah, I
serious.
saw the Chaos Breaker Dragon type of this. Right? Chaos Breaker Dragon. Oh my god.
But just remember that you have to have a face up Cray Elemental to use it. So you may need a bit of setup.
Only
Emphasis on a little bit, okay? So it's
So
usually
is it right to say that only Grand Blue and Angel Feather is the easiest way to get them back?
yes, in a way, because they'll keep dying and they just keep coming back. They just unlock. Your opponent can't do
Angel
anything.
Feather is the best.
And your
because
opponent can't
Grand-
do anything because by the time they try to do something right, it died. Or it went in the damage zone. So there's no way to touch it.
Yep.
Yeah, so yeah,
Should get
because it's actually they're one of the best. So one copy of Candle Celestial Sariel because its ability allows you to tutor anything from the deck. And also counterblast 1. So if let's say you're against Link Joker, oh look guys, I think I need a rock. I guess I'll take a rock from my deck and throw in the damage zone,
yes.
and I'll take it back.
How convenient.
How convenient, guys. And let's say you're on, or let's say I need a Nurse of Broken Heart. Yeah, sure, I'll tutor that shit too.
Yeah.
If I need a Doctor Refrost, yeah, I'll throw it at too.
Oh, great trees. Can I add this, right?
Huh? What? Sorry? Explain.
Trees.
Yeah, which it can be any card. Your this one. So the main reason for playing her is because you can actually, because this set only runs 4 grade 3, so sometimes you may not be able to get it in time.
Correct.
So what you do with her is that you call the red card circle, you throw this in damage zone. Okay, then you heal. Then you send one card from the damage zone back to drop zone.
Yeah.
Then you use this effect and add it back to your hand. You lose one card. Okay, technically you lose the starter. You minus 1 in total lah, but the important thing is that you're guaranteed you're right.
Plus
If
back.
you have that.
And you plus back.
You will plus back a lot with this, so so you
This is the
won't
only
have.
deck that can GLCs and still plus back in the same turn.
Yes, I got destroyed even though it was good just now, right?
Okay, anyway, so continue. Okay, wait ah. No, so broken card.
Why this?
Okay, one copy of Dreamlight Unicorn, because it has as shown in the show, one of the easiest way to use it is to call this, heal 1, then use this and heal 1 again. So you heal 2 the same turn without relying on heal triggers. Another interesting thing that you can actually do is that you can actually, as a resist unit, this card is not affected by fire, so you can use it to attack your opponent, and your opponent can't use Denial Griffin to actually negate the
That's
attack.
true. Also have a resist, right?
So yeah, it's resist. Okay, normally it's actually quite weak, but you have 1000 Ray Pegasus
You got
behind,
plus
so
one.
you can actually plus power behind, and he can't touch it because it's so all the powers behind here, and this one he cannot deny Griffin because deny Griffin only destroys attacking units, not and boosting units are not attacking units. So it's like, yeah, okay. Second thing interesting about it is that you can actually heal 1. You leave it there here first,
Yep.
and your opponent will actually be inclined to attack it a lot because the moment it leaves the field, you have to take 1 damage.
Oh.
Okay, but one good thing about it is that it actually draws attack. It really draws attack.
Correct. It's
Not
like
like
three
against decks that do not do much multi attack, right? It's actually possible to leave it in the front, let it get destroyed, and the best thing about it is that it's not actually take 1 damage. It's actually look at the top 2 cards of your deck, choose one of them, put it in the damage zone, and put the rest at the bottom deck. So if let's say when you're on Nociel, okay, you can check the top 2 cards for Nociel and put it in the damage zone. Then you can add it back to your hand.
Oh my god, so
Got Nurse of Broken Hearts.
And if you got Nose of Broken Heart, that's even more amusing.
Anton, bro.
yeah, it's an amazing card. One copy is nice.
And I guess that's it for the grade 1. Yeah, grade 2s. So for grade 1s, we have 4 copies of Black Core Nakia. We will not be using the first effect because we do not have a Black Shiver Gabriel in the deck at all. It's mainly used as a strike fodder, which as we call it because it's 1 card to throw for strike fodder instead of a grade 3, which you need to because your deck you only play for grade 3. So if you don't, usually you have to throw 2 cards.
That's true.
So that's why you need to play 4 copies. Okay, that's 4 copies of Battlecupid Nociel.
Another balance card that we used to be trash. I mean not really trash, right?
But it wasn't
a
as
$3 card.
yeah, it used to be because technically speaking, you could not plus any you could not actually get back any advantage with this. So if you -1 by using it as a guardian, but with Love Sniper, okay. This was what happened in top 4 against Great Nature, where he strided what's that? The Divine Beast Magma Armor, which gives which gives a glory skill to your rear guards. So what happened was that as he attacked with the Vanguard first, and I used 2 copies of Battlecupid Nociel, okay, which allowed me to actually send 2 cards in and to exchange 2 cards with both obviously Nociel, and add it back by hand, and then after that I take 2 damage more, not really 2 damage more, because you add back 2 and swap 2. So in total it was minimum 4. Then because one of it was a Nociel, because the game is balanced like that, okay, so it's actually 5 times. So because it was 5 times, 5 swaps, so each swap, right, is 4,000. So 4,000 times 5 was 20,000. So my Vanguard was 31,000 base, and my opponent on his Glory Maelstrom turn had to attack my rear guard. So yeah, that was
so like how come the unit attack rear guard?
okay. So then on the second time that he tried it, I managed to farm yet another copy of Nurse of Broken Heart, and I saved the last 2 copies of the Battlecupid Nociel for it, which allowed me to throw. And then because I got another Nociel there, my Vanguard became 41,000 base power, and he had to attack my rear guards again. And I just got it in because I wanted to keep the Nurse of Broken Heart.
So good, man. So 4
I mean,
copies.
if the deck has no way to retire your Nurse of Broken Heart, there's no way you can lose.
Alright.
So okay, wait let me put that thing. So that and because it's a Nociel, whenever you put it in the damage zone, you can use Love Sniper's Nociel to add it back to your hand as well. So it's not as if you need to draw it. Even damage checking it when Nociel is your vanguard, you can actually add it back to your hand because it's Nociel card. Okay, Dr. Royd. Dr. Royd Ramnon, okay, is a new perfect card from GPT-07. His ability is that whenever you have another one in your damage zone and you perfect out with this, you can counter blast one, heal one, and then take one damage. And trigger effects will actually trigger off. So the important thing is that as on Love Sniper Nociel, you actually would, when you perfect out with this, as long as the damage check is a Nociel or trigger, okay, it already gives your Vanguard so much more advantage. You either get to add a free card to your hand, plus 5,000 power to the Vanguard, and this is not counting whether you have a Nurse of Broken Hearts, okay? That's, you're talking about, let's say it's let's say you have no Nurse of Broken Hearts. So you either become a 16k Vanguard, or you will get back one extra card. And then you can actually continue the Nociel chain.
Does this deck have Chronic Counterblast?
No, it never has. Usually it will never
never
have.
had.
Because, okay, this Counterblast 1, right, technically it doesn't really matter because when you Counterblast 1, you heal 1 and you take 1 damage. So you just heal the face.
Okay,
you
you Counterblast 1.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So it's actually,
is a lie.
the Counterblast is just to make sure that you don't counter charge 1. Okay, so that's why it's actually not really Counterblast 1. Okay? So yeah, so we play 4 copies because we need it and have consistency in the damage zone. But even though we actually only play 2.
Oh yeah, he played.
Oh yeah.
And oh my god.
Okay, anyway, then 2 copies of Black Bomber Medic. Okay. Black Bomber Medic's effect is that when this card is caught from the damage zone to rearguard circle, whenever it boosts or attacks a Vanguard, at the end of the battle you can rescue 1, which you do not need to counter blast, so it's actually a counter charge 1. Okay. Secondly, is that normally when you say that call from damage zone to rearguard circle, so normally practically the only way to do that for this deck is for Holy Seraph Nociel, which allows you to drive check that 1 more time. So usually on your Holy Seraph Nociel, you'll drive check 4 to 5 times minimum.
Wow.
Okay. The 3 drive check is not really 3 drive check. Okay.
Penta drive.
Sure. Okay. So and it's a 7k booster. It's a 7k, so it's not like you're actually sacrificing anything, you know, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a good card.
2 copies of 1000 Ray Pegasus because its effect allows you to stack power whenever you put cards in the damage zone, like Nurse of Broken Heart. Yeah. Okay, which allows you to combo with things like Dr. Right Refrost, Love Machine Gun Nociel, and the like. Okay. So it's a very strong booster, and it also helps you to block rush to a certain extent because it's not GB1, so you can actually ride it on the Vanguard circle.
True.
Okay, so it's actually a staple-ish card, but due to lack of space, you only can play 2.
Ninja Van has too many good stuff.
Yeah, and to round it off, we have 1 copy of
Smash.
Nurse of Smash Heart. Whenever a card is placed from your damage zone to drop zone, once per turn, you can Soul Blast 1 to draw 1. Okay, what's very strong about this is that although it's once per turn, you actually trigger the effect on your opponent's turn if you actually damage check a heal trigger and resolve it, or you use I mean, of course, we will say that doesn't always happen,
Yes,
correct?
correct.
So, but you can actually trigger it off with things like Dr. Ramnos, okay, or the G Guardian, which we'll be getting into more detail later on, which will be
So basically, whenever rescue,
for this one. So whenever if you rescue your opponent's turn, you can still Soul Blast 1 to draw.
so you
draw
can
1.
thank you.
So you can actually tank out your
card.
opponent. Yes.
Yeah, the additional card might save your life, and her art is amazing. So play 1. Okay. So nice.
Yeah. Too bad she's a 5k.
差不多走。
Okay. I want to try the new milk tea. Have you seen the shampoo milk tea?
Where is it?
I don't know. They say in Bugis have.
Anyway, okay. For trigger lineup wise, right? We first and foremost the star of the show, Dr. Ryan, of course. We couldn't do it without him because technically speaking, it's counter blast 1, but it allows you to return 2 cards from the damage zone to the deck and itself. Then after you shuffle the deck, put 2 cards from your damage zone, from deck to damage zone and draw 1. So technically you do not lose any cards by getting it. But like I said, it's normally it's a +0, but with Love Sniper Nociel, if you put any card as a Nociel, you actually get to draw 1. It's actually a +1.
Giving them a gear to chill.
Yeah. Secondly, it allows you to plus 4,000 power with 1000 Ray Pegasus and Nurse of Broken Heart, which is also very important. So third of all is that its effect of Counter Blast 1, right, is also another lie created by Angel Feather because you can actually return the face down card. So technically it's a counter charge 1.
So you can always return the card face
You
down.
can return 2 face down.
And you can combo.
Yeah, you can
stuff,
combo.
then
And Lard help your opponent if you actually draw into this.
And late game, if you draw into this, your opponent is dead. Because
Okay.
I remember, 10k that times. Yeah.
Okay, happy. Okay, then after that, wait. Then after that, we have core copies of
Happy Bell.
Happy Bell Nociel. This is important because it triggers off your Nociel grade 3, which add it to your hand. So if you damage check it, it becomes a 16k Vanguard, and you get to add it back to your hand, so it's actually a +1. Its effect is not really used that often, but sometimes it's used if, let's say, you need Dr. Right Raffles in the damage zone. So you can actually just soul charge it, add it back to your hand. And since you probably put a Nociel in the damage zone, you actually will get it back cut. So even though it's a -1, you actually, with Love Sniper Nociel, you actually get back to 0. So you don't actually lose anything. And of course you can combo with your Raffles, your deletion.
This actually serves as 2 triggers. This is a draw trigger during opponent's turn and a spend trigger during your turn.
Oh yeah, true.
Okay, then 2 copies of Surgery Angel, which its effect is that after it boosts, you can counterblast 1 and return it back to your deck. Okay, shuffle, then heal 1 and take 1 damage. It's important because you can actually boost Nurse of Broken Heart.
Yeah.
Then after that, you can send it back to deck, shuffle. Then if you actually damage check any of the stand triggers, like because we play 10 stand triggers,
Yeah.
okay, so then you can stand it up and you can attack with it again.
Yeah,
So
because
it's
when you rescue can check triggers, right?
yeah. Basically, you can resolve the triggers.
Nice.
So and it plus 2,000 to Broken Heart as well. So it serves 2 purposes. So in a way, it actually give you an extra draw check.
Yeah, correct. Amazing.
2 copies of Black Spark Monka because it's a critical trigger and make your opponent guard your Vanguard at 4 damage and not basically fear.
Yeah, correct.
It's actually meant to it's just nice because it's a foil crit and because you guard basically normally you guard it early or put it in damage zone early and opponent say that, oh, you're playing crits, I have to guard your Vanguard.
Yes.
No, you're not, I'll take
you're gonna get lucky.
Oh,
double
crit. Alright, okay.
Did you just crit me just now?
Yeah.
I think you critted me just now with 2 crits, right?
Because I swapped the stands for crit.
Oh yeah. Okay, don't understand.
Yeah, anyway, wait. Okay. Then 4 copies of Sunny Smile Angel.
Oh, nice, one of the best heals in the game.
Basically, its effect is that you can use it as a 6k booster, but it goes back in the deck, which is a good thing for heal trigger because it's actually very disgusting. Yeah, you will basically have more chances to check it, and of course because it's heal trigger, it serves as a generation guard trigger, which allows you to actually use. So alright. Obviously, you play for heals because of G Guardians. And of course, Hope Child 2 Rail. Its effect is that you can actually soul charge it and counter blast 1. Then you can swap 1 card with a damage zone.
Yep.
Okay, this one, right, the effect of it is that normally it's a -1, but you can, with Sniper, right, it's actually you actually get back your 1 card.
Correct.
So you don't lose, you don't lose anything out of it. And secondly, it's also there in, like I said, if you ever damage, because you only play 4 Love Sniper Nociel, but if you damage it, you can actually return it back to your hand.
Yeah.
Which actually more guarantees your right. Okay, so that's it for the main deck. For the strike deck, we have 3 copies of Holy Seraph Nociel. Its effect allows you to after the battle, if you have on a Nociel heart, basically, which is the reason why you only play 4 grade 3 Love Snipers.
Yep.
Okay. So you can swap 2 cards of your rear guards to damage zone and super call 2 cards in your damage zone to rear guard circle. Then if you call any Nociel by the effect, right, plus 5k. So the good thing about it is that you can actually call face down cards. So it's another way to counter charge.
Counter charge also.
So some combos that you can actually do with it was that normally you call this out. This is one of the main core things that come out. So it actually becomes which will actually trigger effect to actually let you in a way drive check 1 more and counter charge 1. Or you can actually use it with in conjunction with say Love Machine Gun Nociel, because when you call it out, it becomes 13k and you get to swap 1 card with damage zone. So actually and basically it allows you to have more attacks. A minimum will give you at least another 4 attacks. Sometimes usually even 5, but they're not that big, but they actually allow you to stand trigger and then you can just swap and then you can attack more.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So it's very versatile, and just now I was saying that we were saying how it actually could use the rock to the escape is that okay.
Amazing.
the Lord Rock. Okay. Anyway, you call it from hand. Okay. Because if you either get your hand or you in damage zone, you use some kind of way to swap it back to your hand.
Correct.
So you call it. You unlock. Okay. Let's say this is a lock card. You call it here. You unlock. So blasting one. Then after you attack.
Yeah.
Then after you Holy Seraph attack. Then let's say if your damage zone is something like, sorry, this here. Say after you boost something like this, okay?
Yes.
So after your attack finish already, okay, let's say you flip a side trigger in the best case scenario, okay?
Yeah.
But then usually you will check one stand because the deck
The
plays
stand
a lot of
piece.
stands. So after that, right, what you would like to do is that you put 2 cards here,
Yeah.
then you will just call 2 cards out again like this.
Yeah.
So your opponent is unable to touch your rock
Yes,
in your damage zone, and you'll be able to use the effect again next turn. So until you run out of Nociel, but usually your opponent will be dead by then.
Correct.
Okay, so then this will attack again for another 5,000, and this one will trigger the rescue for 1 turn.
So
So that's one of the usual ways to actually trigger the effect.
So basically, with this combo, you give you a bit of ways you can fight against King Joker because you'll be able to unlock one as long as you're able to store him back into your damage zone. Yeah, that's why it's very good.
Okay, then after that we have 4 copies of Black Seraph Gabriel. Okay, so
It's okay.
okay, you have 4 copies because it has to flip itself. Hence why you need 4 copies because you need its effect twice.
Yeah.
So you can counterblast 1, you flip it. So whenever you put a card in damage zone during battle phase, choose 2 units plus 2,000 to both of them. Then after that, right, at the end of battle you can rescue 2, heal 2, then take 2 damage. And you can trigger the effect. So basically it's a 5 tracks.
You do not need to have Gabriel Heart, right?
No, don't.
Oh, this is very good.
But it's GB2, so that's so you can't use it as first strike as much as you want to, unfortunately. Unless you G Guardian, okay, then wish. But that's the last story for another time. But the good thing about it is that it also since you rescue 2, you will guarantee plus 4,000 2 units.
Correct.
So and you have 5 checks, so usually you'll be able to flip 1 stand trigger
Alright.
probably, and you'll be able to attack at least 4 times.
Yeah, I didn't know I died to this. Just to check the flipping stand that I died.
Okay. Holy Seraph, there are 2 copies of Holy Seraph Raphael, which effect allows you to actually flip itself and heal 1 unconditionally. So it's very good because it basically allows you to have a buffer to take more damage against combolistic decks, which allows you to trigger more broken hearts and actually defend yourself lah, in a sense. And of course, the best thing about it is that it doesn't care whether your opponent. So you can even aggressively push your opponent, and you can still heal.
Yeah.
How would that feel? And
Sounds good.
sounds great, right?
Yeah.
Okay. 1 copy of Holy Seraph Brazil. Okay. You know it's a finisher, but you have to be careful about it because you have to trigger its effect on the when you place it on the Vanguard circle. So basically when you strike. So your things basically you need to set up with this. Your plus power effects must be on the field already. So it may not be able to use the effect against every matchup, like say Link Joker or Kagero. So sometimes it may not be able to trigger it off. But when against other decks, you can actually set it up and actually trigger it off. It's actually very potent. It can actually win you games outright. Plus, it actually unflips all your damage because it sends all your damage face up or face down to deck, and then places it back from deck to damage zone face up. So you can actually you can actually like draw more cards with Nociel again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it does 2 purposes. True. 1 copy of Air Element Cerbris because it's
Did you use this in the tournament?
yes I did because I had to use it as one game I use it as GSC spotter. Okay, I'm not supposed to say that, but yeah, I'm sure. Okay, but second thing about it is that against people who actually decide to rush you and stay on grade 2, you need to use it to trigger off to unlock your Nurse of Broken Heart.
Yeah.
Because that allows you to actually survive grade 2 rush and actually kill opponent next turn.
Yes, correct.
Because once you have that,
G-based deck, right?
only the Broken Heart is only the Broken Heart and but the Broken Heart is such an integral part of the deck, so you probably need to.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all for the G units. Now for the G Guardians.
Yeah.
Okay. 1 copy of Dark Element Dismal because sometimes your opponent will actually keep attacking your Nurse of Broken Heart. So you can use this, especially if you use a Vanguard attack. You can just use it as a G Guardian and just tell him that you're actually wasting your time. Okay?
That's true.
And actually perfect out your opponent's type.
Yep. And the anti-laurel thing is nice.
And also it's also a crit element, so it will unlock, okay, pardon the pun, okay, the rock. Yes. Okay, then
Oh my god. Giant.
one copy of Holy Seraph Orifil. Okay, its effect is that when you're in limit break status or higher, it becomes a 20k shield for free, which is usually good because one card 20k guard is usually very helpful against in a lot of situations. But you only play one copy because you don't really have space for it because you will play other stuff like
Because we have an awesome.
we have a best G unit, okay, which is called
best glue.
Holy Seraph Surreal. We play 3 copies because she's just that amazing. Her effect is that when you put it on Guardian Circle, you can counterblast 1. You can actually look at the top card of your deck, see whether it's and put it to the bottom deck, then you perform rescue. So if it's a Nociel or a great or a trigger, you just leave it on top and then you just, if it's not, you can try again.
Yeah, true. That's amazing because basically this deck, Nociel is considered a trigger in this deck, right?
Yeah.
So
So
are draw triggers.
so basically you're playing like close to like 30 triggers. No, 31 actually, because you have one is Vanguard.
Yeah, true. So this card's so amazing.
And the best thing is that again the counterblast is fake because you can just heal the face down counterblast and then you just take 1 damage. Yeah. So actually it's a free skill.
But I feel that Angel Feather is actually a skillful deck because you must know what to counterblast. So you some cards you want to keep in the damage zone, but some cards you don't want, right? So you must know what to counterblast.
But unfortunately for the rescue skill you also need to heal. So you need to know what to keep and what to actually
Yeah,
get.
so I feel like this takes skill to play.
Alright. Okay,
Yeah,
wait
so-
up.
done, right?
Nociel. Okay,
So I hope you guys enjoy my friend's deck profile, my friend Vishal's deck profile, explained by David Kulindo.
you don't. Okay, anyway,
so
continue.
yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile. So remember to add me on Facebook and subscribe to my channel. Peace out and love you guys. Rawr.